Let me start with my headline tonight. I'm retiring.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 times people were fired or quit on live TV.
I made a comment earlier tonight that I guess went out over the air that I am deeply ashamed of.
For this list, we'll be looking at instances where people were either terminated or terminated themselves around the time cameras were rolling. Know of any other on-air dismissals? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Shepard Smith. Over the years, Fox News has garnered a reputation for its conservative leanings and support of like-minded politicians. However, one pundit who stood out in that regard was Shepard Smith.
A personal moment now. Gathering and reporting the news has been my life's work.
First joining the team in 1996, Smith wasn't known to be someone who let his opinion be compromised. He consistently criticized former President Donald Trump, who would often criticize him back. In 2019, after feeling strain among his contemporaries, Smith announced his resignation live on his show.
Recently, I asked the company to allow me to leave Fox News. After requesting that I stay, they obliged.
Despite the non-specific locker room drama, Smith handled the announcement professionally, having previously informed his superiors.
Even in our currently polarized nation, it's my hope that the facts will win the day, that the truth will always matter, that journalism and journalists will thrive.
He subsequently made the move to CNBC, where he worked until 2022. Number 9, Twitter employees.
Everybody here, we're all about to get fired from Twitter.
2022 was a turbulent year for the media platform, as its acquisition by business magnate Elon Musk brought with it a whole slew of controversies. In November of that year, Musk laid off nearly half of the workforce before issuing an ultimatum to the rest. He said that they had to commit to a, quote, extremely hardcore work ethic within 2 weeks, else they resign. Naturally, hundreds of employees refused to adopt the new system, and a few found a fun way to ring in their unemployment. With the deadline looming, 5 employees were filmed counting down the seconds. Granted, it wasn't technically live, but it was posted to Twitter, of course, immediately after, so we're counting it anyway. Mostly because it's just too good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Happy New Year! Yay!
Number 8, Jack Paar. Without a doubt, our oldest instance of a live resignation, this one came all the way back in 1960. Tonight, starring Jack Paar, ran from 1957 to 1962 and would eventually become the Tonight Show that we know and love today. But there was a 3-week period within that run in which Paar had technically resigned.
I am opposed to purposely plotted risque material. I am more vehemently opposed to yellow journalism.
During one show, for which only the audio has survived, Paar was blindsided when NBC censors replaced a joke about toilets with news coverage. Known to be temperamental, Paar hastily announced his departure live on the air, saying, quote,
"There must be a better way of making a living than this."
After being persuaded to return, Paar came back and answered his 3-week-old query with, quote, "There isn't."
If you're on the front page of the New York Times, a story about a show that's on your air, people are going to be tuning in. I mean, you're building an audience. So Jack had a good audience and making money.
Number 7, Cindy Michaels and Tony Consiglio. 2 on-air resignations for the price of 1.
And finally tonight, this will be Tony and my final show together here on ABC7. The last 6 years have been an interesting and enjoyable time for both of us, as we have been the longest-running news team in Bangor.
In 2012, Bangor, Maine anchors Cindy Michaels and Tony Consiglio kept their sudden departure from the station a secret from their co-workers until they had a camera in their face.
Some recent developments have come to our attention, though, and departing together is the best alternative we can take.
They were purposely vague about the why of it all, but Michaels later told the Bangor Daily News that the treatment of staff from higher up was unacceptable. In any case, she and Consiglio handled their on-air announcement with poise, with the former even plugging her future endeavors.
We'll still be around. I'm going to pursue a freelance writing career and concentrate on a novel I'm writing and some painting, but we'll be around.
Yeah, and I will be continuing on my career in another capacity.
We have designed a new set for you, which is coming in December. Unfortunately, we won't be here to sit on it. I really wanted to see it.
It's too bad they didn't get to appreciate the new set. Number 6, AJ Clemente. We all can get a little nervous when starting a new gig, but most of us don't have the added pressure of being live on TV for it. AJ Clemente did, and he might have set the record for the quickest on-air firing. In 2013, Clemente joined his first broadcast in Bismarck, North Dakota, but commemorated the moment with some choice expletives right off the bat.
Good evening, I'm Van Tew. You may have seen our newest report, AJ, on NBC North Dakota News.
Apparently, Clemente didn't realize he was live, with his comments slightly throwing off co-anchor Van Tew. Tew tries to introduce him, but Clemente's jitters continue, saying something to the effect that he's used to being from the East Coast.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, AJ.
Thanks, Van. I'm very excited. I graduated from West Virginia University, and I'm used to, from being from the East Coast.
Obviously, Clemente was fired almost immediately after, but he definitely gave the internet a chuckle or two.
Were you aware that you were on the air?
I had no clue. I had no...
Y'all so wrong for that.
Precautionary bleep.
Wait, are we live?
Yeah, we're live.
Yeah, we're live.
FYI.
Number 5, Chris Matthews. Beginning in 1997, Chris Matthews hosted his show Hardball on CNBC and MSNBC for 23 years. But in 2020, it was a scandal that prompted him to hang it up for good, or so it seemed at the time.
This is the last hardball on MSNBC, and obviously, this isn't for lack of interest in politics.
At the top of the show, Matthews announced that he was retiring, citing multiple factors, most notably his inappropriate comments towards women.
A lot of it has to do with how we talk to each other. Compliments on a woman's appearance that some men, including me, might have once incorrectly thought were okay. We're never okay. Not then and certainly not today. And for making such comments in the past, I'm sorry.
Throughout his career, Matthews had been called out for sexist speech directed at people like Melania Trump and Sarah Palin. An inappropriate exchange with journalist Laura Bassett had most recently come to light, likely leading to the resignation.
But remembering Humphrey Bogart and Casablanca, we'll always have hardball. So let's not say goodbye, but till we meet again.
The retirement didn't last too long, though, as Matthews returned to MSNBC as a political analyst in 2022. Number 4, Gwen Dean. Forget the Twitter guys, this might be the most creative way to quit over the airwaves.
Let's talk about dreams and the people who choose to pursue them. Like Gwen, a machine engineer from New York.
The web hosting company GoDaddy has become known for their memorable and often provocative Super Bowl commercials over the years. But their spot during the 2014 game had some real-world implications. Alongside actor John Turturro, Gwen Dean quit her job as an operator of refrigeration machinery in the middle of the commercial to pursue her dream of starting her own puppet performance company.
Hi, Ted. I quit.
She just quit her job.
Yep.
In front of 100 million people.
Ciao, baby.
It turns out Ted really was watching and texted Dean immediately to tell her how much he loved the ad. Sure, Dean wasn't technically live at the time, but the commercial sure was, and it was glorious.
There's a lot of satisfaction of having had a good show. And it is just icing on the cake when the kids go crazy at the end and give me, great standing ovations. I mean, what other profession would that happen in?
Number 3, Tom Brenneman. Tom Brenneman falls into the camp of AJ Clemente, only his blunder was way, way worse.
Reds Live, the pregame show presented by Ray St. Clair Roofing.
In 2020, Brenneman was working as the announcer for the Cincinnati Reds baseball team, but his employment with the team came to an abrupt end when he was caught on a hot mic. Unaware that he was live, Brenneman was heard using an anti-gay slur to describe the city of San Francisco.
If I have hurt anyone out there, I can't tell you how much I say from the bottom of my heart. I'm so very, very sorry.
In the second game of that day's doubleheader, Brenneman was yanked from the booth, but not before he addressed the situation. Well, that and the home run ball from Nick Castellanos.
I pride myself and think of myself as a man of faith. As there's a drive in a deep left field by Castellanos, it will be a home run.
While Brenneman wasn't officially suspended until later that night, pretty much everyone knew he was done, including him.
I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again. I don't know if it's going to be for the Reds. I don't know if it's going to be for my bosses at Fox. I want to apologize for the people who signed my paycheck for the Reds, for Fox Sports Ohio.
Number 2, Liz Wall.
Last night, RT made international headlines when one of our anchors went on the record and said Russian intervention in Crimea is wrong. And indeed, as a reporter on this network, I face many ethical and moral challenges.
Liz Wall is an American journalist, but she worked at the U.S. branch of the Russian TV network RT from 2011 to 2014. In February and March of 2014, Russia enacted the annexation of Crimea, which was illegal under international law. Wall, incensed over how RT was downplaying Russian President Vladimir Putin's actions, stepped down during a live broadcast.
I'm proud to be an American and believe in disseminating the truth, and that is why, after this newscast, I'm resigning.
The clip immediately went viral, with Wall's decision garnering mixed reactions both within and outside RT. Wall went on to report for Newsy, and in 2020 announced her candidacy for the U.S. House of Representatives in the state of Texas. She, however, wasn't elected.
My goal at the time was to warn the world, or whoever would listen, about the dangers of Russian propaganda and the way it was using even Western voices.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. Charlo Green. Quitting on air doesn't get more meta than this.
The Vote No on 2 campaign says the vote on November 4th has nothing to do with medical marijuana.
In 2014, Charlo Green was working as an anchor for a station in Anchorage, Alaska. She was reporting a story about a medical marijuana club when she suddenly revealed that she was the owner of said club. She then completely burned her bridges by announcing she was leaving the station to devote all of her time to marijuana reform and letting out a word you really can't say on live TV.
And as for this job, well, not that I have a choice, but it, I quit.
You seriously couldn't write this stuff, but the story gets weirder. In 2015, Green's club was raided by local police, who then arrested and charged her with multiple counts of misconduct involving a controlled substance. Green avoided jail time, but paid a hefty fine.
And even if we didn't get past the vote, I don't think I would regret the actions that I took up till that point.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.